Trista Sutter, the star of The Bachelorette Season 1, said that the show's producers threatened to sue her if she disclosed any information about her Bachelor season before it aired. Trista was introduced to Bachelor Nation as Alex Michaels' runner-up in Season 1 of The Bachelor. After being chosen to be the first star of The Bachelorette, Trista became engaged to Ryan Sutter during the show's 2003 debut. Their wedding, which took place on December 6, 2003, was shown on television. Most recently, Trista participated in Season 3 of Special Forces, World's Toughest Test. Trista went on to say that she was reminded of her time on The Bachelor, where she was supposedly threatened with legal action if she spoiled the show, by the circumstances surrounding Special Forces, World's Toughest Test. Trista discussed the claims that went viral after Ryan sent cryptic messages on social media, expressing his longing for her while she was away in Wales filming Special Forces during the January 21 episode of Jenny Garth's I Choose Me podcast. Fans were concerned that she and Ryan were divorcing or that she was gravely ill, but Trista clarified that she had to keep her attendance on the show a secret. "You must wait," Trista remarked. "You simply sign your life away and agree to keep everything confidential. And in that regard, it's not my first time." Trista went on to say that the circumstance brought back memories of her experience on The Bachelor, where she was supposedly threatened with legal action if she gave away any spoilers. "When I signed the Bachelor contract, they said, 'Okay, well, we're going to sue you for $5 million if you tell anybody,'" she recalled. "Good luck with that, I say, since I don't have it. But you're like, okay, fine, when you're instilled with a fear of God or lawyers. You have to zip it. You must wait. You simply sign your life away and agree to keep everything confidential. Furthermore, I have experience with that." Although it makes sense that the producers of the Bachelor franchise want a certain amount of confidentiality from the candidates and leads in order to avoid giving away the season's conclusions, it's startling to learn how dangerous they can be, as Trista disclosed. She was informed that she would have to pay a hefty sum of money if she ruined the show, though it's unclear if she meant $5 million literally. This is problematic since it can negatively impact people's mental health. One may presume that there would still be severe repercussions if someone disclosed any information about the Bachelor franchise before it premiered, even though it's unclear what the rules are for candidates and leaders in recent seasons. For someone like Jen Tran, the star of Bachelorette Season 21, whose fiancé Devin Strader ended their relationship before her finale even aired, it must be extremely tough to be silenced. It's unsettling to think that she might have faced a multi-million-dollar lawsuit if she had disclosed it before the finale, even if the prospect of going through such a public split was already heartbreaking. Trista's use of phrases like fear of God and sign your life away is also extremely troubling. Although the contestants and leads are free to choose and no one coerces them into signing these contracts, it's awful to think that the creators of the Bachelor series are abusing them in this way. The Bachelor series is about finding love, and if participants get engaged, it can have a significant impact on their futures. In contrast, a show like Special Forces, where competitors undergo Special Forces training, is very different. Being quiet about a Bachelor franchise engagement, especially when that relationship goes horribly wrong, is far worse than maintaining a secret about one's journey on Special Forces. Hopefully, Trista's disclosure on the contracts for the Bachelor shows will cause people to reconsider signing them, allowing for much-needed franchise reform. Threats have no place on a show about love. In the world of reality television, few shows have captivated audiences as consistently as The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. For over 2 decades, these shows have delivered love stories, heartbreaks, and, occasionally, jaw-dropping scandals. But behind the romance and drama that play out on screen lies a darker, often hidden world, the pressure to keep everything secret and the weight of the consequences for those who dare to speak out. One of the earliest stars of this franchise, Trista Ryan Sutter, has recently revealed some startling truths about her experience during her time on The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. Insights that shed light on the intense measures the producers take to keep the outcomes of the show under wraps, and the mental toll it can take on participants. Her story is a cautionary tale, one that echoes through the lives of countless former contestants who find themselves caught in the web of secrecy, legal threats. Trista first appeared on The Bachelor in 2002, where she became the runner-up in the search for love with Alex Michael. Although she didn't win his heart, Trista became a beloved figure within Bachelor Nation. Her genuine personality and undeniable charm made her a fan favorite, and in 2003, she was chosen to be the very first Bachelorette. During the first season of the spin-off, she ultimately found love with firefighter Ryan Sutter. The two got engaged during the season finale, and in a full-circle moment, their wedding was televised in a lavish ceremony on December 6, 2003. Their relationship has withstood the test of time, as Trista and Ryan are still married today and have 2 children. But despite the seemingly picture-perfect ending, Trista's journey with the franchise wasn't all roses. In a recent interview on Jenny Garth's I Choose Me podcast, Trista shared a chilling experience from her early days on The Bachelor, one that she claims involved severe threats from producers in a bid to keep the secrets of the show tightly under wraps. "We're gonna sue you," alleged producer threats. During the January 21 episode of the podcast, Trista opened up about the harsh realities of being part of the Bachelor franchise. One of the most startling revelations she made was that producers had threatened her with a lawsuit if she spoiled any aspect of the show before it aired. "I remember signing the contract for The Bachelor, and they were like, okay, well, if you tell anybody, then we're gonna sue you for $5 million. I'm like, good luck with that, 'cause I don't have it. But it's like the fear of God or the fear of lawyers are put into you, and you're like, okay, well, gotta zip it," Trista recalled, recounting how intense the pressure was to maintain secrecy. The $5 million figure, while it may have been used more to intimidate than as an actual legal demand, paints a vivid picture of just how far producers were willing to go to protect the show's outcomes. For someone like Trista, who had just entered the world of reality TV and had no way of anticipating the harsh realities that came with it, the idea of facing such severe legal action was undoubtedly overwhelming. Trista emphasized that this was not an isolated experience. She found herself once again in a similar situation when she participated in Special Forces, World's Toughest Test. On this show, contestants endure grueling physical challenges designed to push them to their limits. In a stark contrast to The Bachelor, which is built on the premise of finding love, Special Forces is a competition, but it still required Trista to keep her participation under wraps until the show aired. You have to wait. You just sign your life away, and you also sign that you have to keep everything in secret. "And it's not my first rodeo when it comes to that," Trista said, comparing the experience of being silenced on The Bachelor to her more recent time on Special Forces. The mental toll of secrecy and fear. While it's understandable that the producers of reality shows, particularly those with high-stakes endings like The Bachelor, demand a certain level of secrecy from their contestants, the mental toll of such demands cannot be understated. Trista's revelation is a stark reminder of how the producers of reality TV shows, especially those under the Bachelor franchise umbrella, use fear and intimidation to control the narrative and keep spoilers from leaking before the final episode airs. The contractual obligations to remain silent are one thing, but the psychological strain placed on participants is another. Trista's use of phrases like "sign your life away" and "fear of God" is especially telling. The fear of facing a lawsuit, the pressure to uphold the illusion of the show, and the constant monitoring of contestants' every move. These are the realities that many former contestants have faced in silence. And while not everyone may have faced the same level of threat as Trista, it's clear that the culture surrounding The Bachelor and The Bachelorette is one that values the secrecy of its plotlines above the well-being of its stars. This creates a toxic environment, especially for those like Trista, who were thrust into the limelight at the very beginning of the franchise's history.